Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and we are on our way to Union Grove Baptist Church in Petersburg, Virginia to do another on-site to help modernize another media ministry. So let's go. All right, people, we are here. So I think I might be early. It's 12:01. I can't remember if I said 12 or 12:30, but oh well. Let's see what we can do to help them out. So we are here. Let's go ahead and get started with a design, and pretty much sitting down and talking with them while I was walking through. Somebody suggested to them to do nothing but Macs for this. So they recently got that, and that's obviously something that they don't want to replace. And we're not going to try and force to do that. But what we are going to do is, based off of what they're talking about, is I want to offload that work onto ATEM Mini Extreme because of the simplicity, and then everything can be done there. So the idea is we're going to do everything through the ATEM Mini Extreme, but we could also, if they really want to, maybe use the Mac to funnel the audio into a conference call or something like that. So let's start with, and they have a bunch of infrastructure of TVs, but they were all SD running through some mustard, ketchup, and mayonnaise cables everywhere. So all of that's going to be replaced, and we're going to do everything with HD going throughout the whole thing. And they also did want me to price out what it would be if I did the TVs. So I'm thinking we're going to go with 65s, 65-inch 4Ks. In the sanctuary, there are TVs everywhere else. I didn't get a chance to check if they were HD, so we might have to put a converter to scale it down, but we'll see there as an option. I will price that and put that optionally. So we're going to start here with the ATEM Mini Extreme. And the only reason I'm going with that is so that we can have our output. We have the two HDMI outs. I would normally go with the ATEM Mini Pro, but we want to do that because they have another TV in the media booth area that was split off of their distribution. Now, also, they also have coax going throughout as well for some of the areas. So really what I would like to do to avoid the TVs, I might even think about putting a Thor RF modulator downstairs, but we might not be able to because there are speakers in the ceiling. So they're getting the sound directly from their new X32 sound system. So we need to send the video as fast as possible to stay in sync with the audio. So let's go through. There are 3 TVs in the sanctuary, and there are 4 downstairs. So it's a total of 7. But let me actually say 6 because the other one, no. Yeah, there's 7, but then there's another one from another split that was right there in the media booth. So that's going to be for the multi-view. So let's do 7 TVs here. Let's keep them small. Oops. Then one more. So there's already all of these, for the most part, are the mustard, ketchup, and mayo cables going there. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to do a SDI distribution. If possible, some of the places where there are already coax, and it looked like it was RG6. So we could re-terminate them and we don't have to pull cable, but we have to be prepared anyway. So we're going to have some SDI to HDMI converters for each TV. Let's slide all these over here. There we go. Place this on each TV. And our distribution matrix, we're just going to pull down the one that's downstairs in that closet and replace it with ours. So hopefully they didn't tack down the cables in the wall. I think they just dropped them. Hopefully that's what they did, and that would make that easier to do. So let's run these cables here right now. We're going to use the HDMI to SDI converter from one of our outputs, which is going to feed into our distribution hub. All right, so let's color these blue for HDMI. Black is SDI. All right, so that's going to handle there. All right, so these two are going to be for the sanctuary. And then there's going to be one in the back. And I actually need to break this off from here because they actually said that they want the back display to actually be a stage display. So we'll say for lyrics and scripture for the choir and everything like that. So we're going to use the Mac and run whatever equivalent presentation software on this one. So we'll convert this over, might do a HD base T or something like that, so we can actually remove this. So somehow we're going to connect this over HDMI or something like that, a converter or something like that to get that there. All right, so that's going to act as its own thing, but we also need to make sure that that split and this is also going into our HMNA stream for lyrics as well too. So that gives us the functionality of both. So we might have to use a USB adapter or something like that, the equivalent for the Mac to do that. All right, so we're going to go with, they want two cameras because their baptismal is in the pulpit. So they want a camera that's close up to the front as well as one in the back to replace there. So we'll say that's front PTZ. And then we got another back PTZ here. We got our joystick that's going to be controlling that. And we recently just did a video talking about how to connect these. So we're going to use our RS-232 to RJ45 connectors to connect to this. So we're going to have both of these HDMI to SDI converters here that will live inside the media booth. And with the Extreme, it gives them a whole lot of room to grow with this. All right. And they don't have any network. Comcast ran the internet. There's fiber there at the church, but no one, it's like they just concentrated on Wi-Fi. So we need to have an actual switch in there. Doesn't have to be big. Maybe one of these mini switches from Unify, because the only thing we're going to be connecting is the ATEM, and the MacBook. So I think only about 2 devices. So that switch should be fine. So we'll put something here for internet. These are going to be connected front to back. And what color should we use? Let's let's use red. Cat 6. And actually, this cable needs to be in the other direction. But y'all understand what this is doing. Cat 6. And then we're also going to run, obviously, all these cameras to the network as well, too, so that we can control them. The Extreme is going to have internet access as well, obviously, because that's what we're going to use to do the live streaming, not lean on the Mac to do the live streaming unless they really want to. All right. And we're going to have to run a cable downstairs to where the router is. Now, honestly, I probably could run just 2 separate cables. I'm going to actually run 4 just in case as a backup, because if we're already doing this, might as well just run it to be prepared so that, leave it in a better condition than we found it. There. All right. And we're going to copy one more monitor here. And this is going to be for our multi-view. This is going to be our other HDMI out into this. HDMI. That's going to be blue for our multi-view. And we still have, and then we're going to connect this out to the Mac over USB. And let's do this as purple. And, we can always have a hard drive, an external hard drive here to connect that for storage. And that would be our other USB out for there. It's starting to get a little jumbled up here in my diagram. That's going to be purple. All right, so that's how we go. Now, they also want me to talk about the TVs, but this is going to be the design for it. And again, we're seeing something similar here. We're doing the direct connections because of the sound. We don't want to have any issues. And let me actually save this so I don't have any issues with this coming back to this. So we pretty much everything except for the router and the Mac is going to be new. So I'm going to go ahead and price this out, send this as an estimate to them. And then if we get the contract, obviously we'll be bringing y'all along to let you see how the install is going to go. The good thing is we ain't going in the attic with this one, but it's going to be unique to try and find where the cables are because they just did sound before COVID. So hopefully I can find how they ran the cables and then just run my stuff along with it. And hopefully that should be a lot easier with that. Because I'm going to prepare for SDI cable if we need to. We got plates to pull down the RCA plates and put up a single Keystone plate with a BNC connector. That's simple. Just like we did at New Jerusalem. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So let me go ahead and write this up, send it off, and there'll be a link in the description to everything that we're going to do and use. And hopefully when I do stuff like this gives you some ideas, because once you get the foundation, it's pretty much rinse and repeat. It's just unique situations, what to ask when you're on site. It's pretty much the same thing. You just got to make sure that if somebody wants to have different displays, that will determine what type of switcher that you would do. If everything is running the same, that's easy. You just run one output and then just duplicate it. But I always ask, do you want the back screen to show something different or anywhere else? That's when you got to start introducing something that gives you an aux out or some type of other wiring. And I need to make sure I put a type of unique cabling situation for the Mac that needs another adapter that goes out to the other back display, stage display. So anyway, if you like this type of content, I appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Don't forget, folks, there's a link in the description to everything that we're going to use for this project. So thanks so much for watching. This is AJ. We will see you on the next video. Later.